Hey guys, Jenn Dize here. We are reporting, Ty is behind the camera. We are reporting live from the Anchor Bar in Detroit, Michigan, where it is the Bernie Sanders Results Watch Party. There's a lot of other media here. Other Bernie Sanders supporters are filing in, I guess, after work and after everything they have to do.
My name is Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. So what brought you out here? Why are you excited to come to this Bernie Results Watch Party?
Well, I'm really excited because I've been volunteering heavily for the campaign for the last few months. So this is kind of where we find out how far we got with making our case for Bernie.
So you said you've been volunteering. What specifically have you been doing?
Phone banking, canvassing, doing organizing parties to get people to set up events, and also just good old door knocking.
So you've been doing a lot, obviously, for the campaign. What's the general sentiment out there? Are people responsive to Bernie who maybe weren't before or didn't really know about him before? What's the feeling out there?
Yeah, I think so. I think sometimes when you're a political junkie, you sort of overestimate how engaged everyone is. And it was actually kind of eye-opening to talk to some people who were kind of open-minded, were on the fence, and kind of, make our case for Bernie.
Absolutely. What do you think about the general kind of sense in Michigan? Are you thinking Bernie's going to win, or are you concerned based on the polling, based on the results we've seen so far, that Biden might pull through in Michigan?
Well, I have been trying to keep the faith because in 2016, Hillary was predicted to win by about 20 points here, and Bernie actually had a really good victory. So, I'm keeping that in mind. However, I will say that it's not really apples to apples. Biden is a different candidate than Hillary, so we'll see how the folks respond.
Absolutely. So policy-wise, what is it about Bernie that is important to you? Medicare for All in particular, how would that affect you and your family or the people that you care about?
I would affect me and my family positively. I will say that what draws me to the campaign really is Bernie's, I will fight for someone I don't know, and I will say that I am insured. I have good coverage. I'm a healthy person, but I know so many people who aren't, who struggle to pay medical bills, who are really dealing with a broken system. And also I spent a long time working in the restaurant industry where people don't get paid vacation, don't get paid time off, paid sick time, and also usually are uninsured. And I think that even with like Obamacare right now, with a bronze plan, sometimes people are paying for coverage that they can't afford to use.
You mentioned that Cory Booker previously talked about Joe Biden's obvious, in my opinion, I'm not a doctor, cognitive decline. Kamala Harris called Joe Biden out previously on his busing stance, and she said, I was that little girl. How does it feel, or speak on the fact that these candidates who used to be kind of truthful about how they felt about Biden have now dropped out and endorsed him at the expense of Bernie Sanders?
I think that it really shows how nefarious a role money plays in politics and institutional power. It is very startling, maybe not so surprising to see. But some of these people, you thought maybe they were willing to buck the establishment a little bit, but you see how much it is all about just gaining favor. And I think that these people are endorsing him not out of their genuine belief, but about furthering their own career or looking for a cabinet position. And it's very sad. It's especially to see someone like Kamala, who was very passionate in her criticism of Biden's busing support. That just like made me lose all. I mean, she was never my candidate, but made me lose all respect for her.
So what words do you have for people who are sitting at home right now? Maybe their state hasn't voted yet. Maybe they are in Michigan. What words do you have of maybe encouragement or advice for those people?
I would say stop the self-punditry. Stop trying to play 3D chess and figure out who would win or who you think other people would vote for, and vote for who you believe would be the best president and the best change. I happen to think that the best opponent to go against Donald Trump is Bernie Sanders. This is not just an ideological thing for me. I think he's more focused, more mentally competent. I, of course, like his platform, but I would tell people to, just kind of look at where they stand side by side, and don't try to just figure out what you think other people will think is safe.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for your time, Lauren. That was wonderful. Thank you again. Yeah, you can say any last words if you want to. Anything else you have?
Feel the burn.
Very nice. Thank you so much. It's from Jordan. James Clyburn called for canceling any further debates if Biden wins big tonight. So James Clyburn has called for canceling any further debates if Biden wins big tonight. Does that sound like democracy to you?
Oh, man. I want to sound glass half full for this interview, but it just seems like the DNC just reached out to all the other candidates, and they pretty much just conspired to support Joe Biden. And, I mean, just intervening with the democratic process, it hasn't been a success. We saw that in 2016. I think you should just kind of let it happen naturally. And unfortunately, people try to, put their will in. So we're just seeing the effects of 4 or 5 candidates that were 2 weeks ago running their own campaign, but now supporting the candidate.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna have you reintroduce yourself in just a second. I have one more update from Jordan. So NBC has just called it for Biden. Jordan, make sure you write what they have called, just because I don't want to announce it incorrectly. I think I know what you're saying. Jordan also says, from me, the reason we launched Status Coup is because of exactly what viewers are seeing and feeling tonight. Corporate media, propaganda, and misinformation is the biggest decider, and interference in elections. Interference in quotes. Win or lose, we will continue fighting to expose it and give the microphone back to the people. The only way for progressives to win is to break through the corporate media programming and wake more people up. So while we wait for more from Jordan, tell the audience your name again so we'll kind of restart since we got the speeches interrupting us.
Sure. My name is Doug Brooks. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Went to Howard University in D.C. Just moved back. So, I'm really...
Turn towards me a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see the results right now. They just called Michigan.
What is it about Bernie's policies that are so important to you?
Man, just transformative leadership, just focusing on not just kind of coming in and looking good, but just actually standing up for what, people that really deserve a voice. That's what I can see. Bernie, come on. Everyone stole all of his 2016 campaign points this year, and we're just looking at politics play out. It's pretty saddening, man. Y'all don't want me crying on y'all show, do y'all?
It's okay if you want to. If you need to, you can do whatever you want here at Status Coup.
It really sucks to see this right now. I wish everybody thought like us. Why not have public college? If we can spend almost $1 trillion a year on our military, why can't we send people to school? You can spend money educating people, or you're going to spend a lot of money controlling them and trying to monitor them. And that's not the type of world we want to live in. Yeah.
So I know this is a big blow to you, but do you have any advice for the people who are sitting at home, maybe their states haven't voted yet, or they're feeling discouraged? What would you say to them?
Man, I would say in the meantime, at least for the next few weeks, I think you should just vote for whichever candidate that you believe in, just to kind of send a message to the Democratic Party, because whoever wins is going to win. They're going to be nominated. So I think you should still vote for who you want to vote for. Why not? Why not? I understand uniting the Democratic Party, but, at this point, just vote for who you believe in. Maybe in May, then talk about uniting the Democratic Party, but I think we should still let places like New York vote. I don't want to think. I'm not just thinking about states that haven't voted yet. I mean, I know a lot of the Midwest hasn't voted yet, and the West. So, continue to see some of those places vote before we say, oh, the South and maybe a few states in the Northeast and Michigan has decided for the entire country. That would be my popular opinion on that.
Obviously, we don't know exactly what's going on in Michigan. We don't have the full results in. We know it's been declared. But the media has not been reporting on things like this. But in Texas, Status Coup reported earlier today, they found 44 thumb drives of votes they didn't count in Dallas County in Texas. So they called Texas for Joe Biden, but all of a sudden we learn they didn't actually count all of the votes. There are also voting shenanigans or election shenanigans going on in California. So how does that make you feel? Do you think that the establishment or whoever's pulling these strings is going to stop at nothing? What's going to happen if Bernie Sanders, it's not over yet, but will the establishment win?
I don't want to say there's any cheating involved. Maybe people have made some mistakes, human errors. So, I do have faith in the Democratic Party even though in 2016 that there were a lot of things they did that were out of line, I like to have faith in them that they are going to do better this time. And, let's just hope those votes bring the delegate count up. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? Let's just hope they bring it up. I don't think 100 delegate margin with less than 50% of the population voting is a reason to really stop an election. I think Bernie Sanders right now needs to pick a vice president, try to get Elizabeth Warren, or get somebody, he needs to, do something to just re-spark, so people just stop talking about socialists. Because that's the only reason they hate him. If he would have never brought that up. Yeah.
You brought up Elizabeth Warren. What do you think she's doing right now? Why hasn't she endorsed Bernie Sanders if she's truly a progressive?
I feel like what they're doing is a hard job. The media is on them every day. So she's just probably somewhere dancing, eating, relaxing. So
she was certainly dancing on SNL.
Exactly. So I think I think Bernie should reach out to her and try to get her on the ticket. The only way he's going to re-spark this is I'm doubling down. Here's my enthusiastic vice president she'll pick, and that will restart this up. Yeah. So, we got all these people supporting Biden. Come on, man. Come on. I don't even want to start bashing Joe Biden because who knows? Joe might be giving me a job one day. I'm just kidding around.
Okay, any last words that you have for the people sitting at home?
Man, just go out and vote for Bernie Sanders, man. Bernie Sanders 2020. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for your time. It's great. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.